In this one, we'll be reacting to another one from Frostmare TV. And this one is scary videos that you want to see, that want to see you again. Let's do this, shall we? Sounds intriguing.
The next video was recorded by a young man who was documenting the architecture and the layout of the St. John's Church in Pisz, Poland. He picked up really inexplicable captures. Could they be real? The man, in particular, seemed to be really interested in capturing the confessional boxes encircled around them. Besides the chairs outside, nothing out of place catches the eye. This is until the man captured the first apparition in the reflection of the glass.
Is that an apparition? Yes. Could be a light effect with mixed with pareidolia, you know what I mean? So it could be a light effect coming from his torch or whatever, or the lights in the building, and plus what we want to see, if that makes sense.
Now, for some reason, when I saw the recording for the first time, this image reminded me of an elderly woman. I have no idea why. What do you think? But the man keeps further recording and captures the following in another box. Could this be the same apparition that he captured in the first one? Our next video was captured by a CCTV camera in
I take it back.
the mall. The story goes that neither the security staff nor customers could see what was going on at the time. Myself, I'm actually not too sure what exactly happened that particular day, and it left me with an eerie feeling. Notice how the security guard controlling the mouse makes us aware of a childlike figure that was captured on the security footage. It is an unusual thin shape that reminds me a lot of a shadow figure. The movement as well is pretty odd. I've never seen many people moving like that. See how the girl just stands still.
It's weird because people walk past them and not notice it. And of course, if it's a person, it's just not coming up on the camera because it's potato quality. You probably wouldn't think it's anything out of the ordinary if it's a girl. What I mean? Yeah, she's wearing a dress, skirt, dark hair, long legs. With her, but then again, where's her arms? I don't know, because keep it arms folded. Interesting.
This goes on for several moments in which we don't see the shadow move once. To me, the shape at this point looks way more like a human than moments earlier. Security staff stated that they could not see the girl in person in the actual mall.
That last bit does look like a girl running off with heels, like someone's called to her, and she's like, you know what I mean? Don't know. That's odd, he can't see her.
But then there is a guard who, in my opinion, notices the girl sitting on the ground very clearly. But I have no idea what exactly happens next.
Oh, so this boy, so he's probably, she could be unwell or something, and he's radioing in.
It baffles my mind.
Because look, he's like holding a radio up.
The shape follows two customers, phases through one of them, and disappears at the end of the hallway.
Bizarre.
Story goes that in the first clip, a hotel guest was seeing strange shapes in his hotel room at night. The evening after, he set up his camcorder to see if it actually caught anything.
Sorry, apart from the freaky shadow thing, cool beat. It's like that entity in that film they did for TV. It was supposed to be based on a true story, The Haunting or The Haunted, where they, the woman thinks she hears her mum. She turns around and sees this shadow go. Woo. It's freaky. It was silly. It was a bit grandiose at the end of all the praying nonsense and stuff. But it was yeah.
Want to take a look at a very curious case documented by Clayton. On his YouTube channel, Time to Play TV, he frequently seeks for unexplainable adventures and the unknown. Please check him out if you can. But now, we will be witness to some pretty inexplicable activity. Clayton was staying at the Riverview Hotel, which was built in 1916 and owned by 3 women. Ever since the owners had passed away though, guests reported that unexplained shapes and figures could be seen in the middle of the night. Apparently people were even recognizing the apparitions on old pictures that are still hung on the walls. Ironically, Clayton went out to look for some activity himself, and, without prior knowledge, was given a room in which a former guest just had passed away a couple of weeks earlier. But let's start from the beginning. After Clayton had arrived in the hotel and set his equipment by side to get it charged for the following night, he noticed that things weren't as normal as they seemed at first.
That shuts them both off. You hear the fan shut off? The bathroom door over there? It's closed. Now, I don't mean a little bit. I mean it's fully closed. Now, the reason it's open now is because I thought maybe a breeze, maybe something. There's no windows open. I got nothing going on, and that thing right there is just closed all by itself. So I'm telling you what, it's a little spooky. I am thinking it just moved a little bit. I'm telling you, it just. See that?
Interesting. Clayton lets us know that it was in fact not him, that there are no cheap tricks involved or whatever.
I'm using the front facing the camera, so it's kind of hard to see. But you can see. Watch. Watch. See, it's a watch.
Maybe whatever was responsible for the door closing would respond to Clayton asking for a favor.
Well, and of course, I mean, I can't see anyone, but the only I can think of faking it, someone's in there, and you know, and they pushed it, and it's been edited. But I don't know. I'm just saying, if it was fake, you know. I'm not saying it's genuine either. I'm just saying.
You think you can close that one more time for me? You think one more time you could close the door?
I'm trying to have a crap.
And then I'll leave you alone. Then I'll leave, and I'll leave this room for a little while. I won't come back if you close that door one more time. Oh.
But this was just the beginning. The same night, Clayton decided to record any possible activity on his camcorder, which he had set up next to his bed. He kept the lights on and the fan running. He stated that it took him a while to fall asleep, but eventually he managed. After some time, the fan starts wobbling, as if something was touching it. Maybe an electrical problem. And how do we explain the wobbling again, after it happens for a second time? Then, several more hours pass. The camera is on a different angle now for some reason.
Don't know where to move it. It's like, where do we look? Where do we look? I'm going to sit next to you.
Was this an invisible force that had pushed the chair towards Clayton? What do you think? Clayton then gets woken up by some inexplicable shaking that takes place.
Sorry to critique, but bed only has one E in it.
Now, of course, nobody can say for certain that everything we just witnessed was actually real and unaltered, but I don't have an issue with giving Clayton the benefit of the doubt here. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. The next video was sent to me by a viewer who stated that one night this man captured some unusual activity in the house of his family. Nobody else was with him that Friday night. The activity is certainly pretty curious. After following some apparent noises into the kitchen, things get out of hand and seemingly are being moved on its own. After a little while, he decides to check if all of the activity had stopped, then makes it down the stairs and starts to deal with the repercussions. Minutes pass, and he gives the situation one last look.
What do you want?
This video was found on a channel called Ricardo Costa.
Looks like I got pushed downstairs or fell downstairs or dropped things downstairs. You're not going to dress that Frostmare. That's like the end bit there.
channel doesn't feature anything particularly interesting besides the following clip. It is said that the young people were hanging out at a friend's house at night, and they were tampering with a ghost board. After they had moved on to another game, some very interesting activity got captured.
People go, oh, don't play with Ouija boards, blah, blah, blah. They're nonsense. Check my video. I did some videos. I did a couple of videos actually. I did a video on the history of it, and I did one covering an article of how science debunked it.
At first, everything appears to be normal game night, until something odd is appearing on camera.
Why are you playing a board game in the dark as well?
It appears that a creature is running by in the background on all four of his limbs. It is hard to make out, but some say it reminds them of the rake. What do you think?
It's Gollum.
They realize instantly that something is with them in their home, and start to look for possible answers. And they
Hang on, it's their home. One, there's no furniture, or barely any furniture, and two, you're playing in the dark. Playing a board game in the dark, why? It just seems a bit suspicious.
catch it once more, how it escapes through their living room. It appears to be more humanoid in this capture, although the head is kinda disproportioned to the rest of its body, and the limbs are really thin. When the three friends then try to find this creature once and for all, it is suddenly gone. What's your opinion? Of course we don't know what really happened here. For all we know, it could also just have been one of their friends, pulling off a great show for us, the audience. The following was recorded by an explorer, who was just recording what appears to be some recently abandoned living facilities.
It is odd that, again, it's odd that they're doing all that in the dark. Like, Ouija board, I can understand, you know, to get the atmos, but board game, playing a board, you wouldn't play Monopoly in the dark, would you?
But there has been something else that was with him at the time.
A shadow?
Could this be one of the former tenants, maybe? What's your opinion? This clip was recorded by a couple who felt that their place was inheriting some unexplainable energies and things were out of place every now and then. The following captures were recorded by a stationary camcorder, which was taping Bobby, the wife, while she was resting on a couch. The couple is assessing today's footage on their computer and analyzing bit by bit what was going on. Now let's take a closer look. There is an unusual object right behind Bobby on the bed.
What is that? This is at Hinsdale.
And it appears to be unclear to where it could have originated from.
As you can see, I am not moving.
This is Bobby sleeping on a very small couch.
First I was thinking that it might have been a cat or another animal. But the movement is pretty static for a living object, don't you think?
No, not for a cat. Because it's climbing onto the back of the purse and it's trying to get comfortable, if that makes sense. But then, you know, the owners would think, oh, there's a cat, etc.
And there it is again.
Okay, I'm gonna be shifting my arm. Watch what happens. See that?
From this angle now, we can even get a better look onto the very mysterious phenomena. What's your explanation? Just an animal?
Bizarre.
Our next clip was filmed on a family gathering to celebrate the life of a recently deceased family member. Was the person in question maybe around as well? The person with the camera clearly was not anticipating anything out of the ordinary. It is when they start to film the hallway right next to the living room that a fast shadow can be captured. If you're following my channel, you have seen quite the number of shadow figures. What do you think
If it's fake, just saying, if it's fake, it could be a kid at the family running past.
about this capture here? Real or just a hoax? This is another gathering of young people who were having a fun time at a friend's apartment when the person behind the camera caught a misty shape on the balcony looking inside. I'm sure that most of us know how fun it can be to just hang out with our friends and a couple of beers over the weekend. But what if something uninvited is peeking through your window? In my opinion, it almost looks like a humanoid shape, and we can clearly see the arms and shoulders. A real capture, or just some special effects?
Or just a trespassing weirdo. Because don't forget, we had that in one of the videos we've seen. There was one where a stalker climbed in through the flat window of a sunset apartment.
How you doing? I'm Ken.
Well, there you go. There's Frostmare. Scary videos that you want to see again. Well, let me know what you think. There are some really good, some could be explained, you know, quite interesting. But yeah, some really, you know, that one in the church can't take back because it's face snap. But yeah, anyway, thanks again for watching with me. As always, the links to the channels that I react to are in the description below. If you like the video, hit the like, and if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe. It would be great to have you here. And until next time. Oh, and anyway, because also I just don't do reaction videos. I do information videos, all kinds of things like that. And I'm working on one about Strange Supreme and from Marvel Universe, and I'm doing one about Hoodoo. So anyway, until next time, take care. Bye bye.